busy weekend coming up for the LSU Tigers. The women's basketball team opens up their conference play tonight at 8 p.m. inside the PMAC against the Missouri Tigers. If you can't make it inside the PMAC, it'll also be streaming on ESPN. The men's basketball team will also be opening up their conference play this Saturday, January 6th, against Texas A&M in College Station. And if anyone's looking for Friday night plans, the number 3 ranked LSU gymnastics team will open up their season tomorrow, January 5th, against the number 14th ranked Ohio State at 7:30 p.m. Tonight, the Lady Tigers keep climbing towards adding another victory to their 13-game winning streak. LSU leads the nation in scoring, steals per game, free throws attempted per game, free throws made per game, and is second in scoring margin with 36 points. In the SEC, the Lady Tigers are first in turnover margins and second in field goal percentage, rebound margin, and blocked shots per game. All these ladies have the grit and they mean business when they're on the court, and even though LSU is missing some key players and has had injuries this season, they're still putting in the work and doing what's necessary.
If I had had everybody together for a long period of time and not all the disruptions from injuries to being away from the team, I would feel a lot better. Right now, we've only had Haley back for the one game, and everybody else is, we're trying to figure it out, but you can't rush that. Is it the perfect scenario to start conference? No, but it is what we've had to deal with, and I just see every day in practice us getting a little bit better.
Like head coach Kim Mulkey said, LSU has had some missing components this season, with players like Haley Van Lith coming back onto the court at full strength after missing 4 games due to a foot injury, along with Angel Reese having only been in about 75% of the games this season, while still averaging 19.6 points per game, showing that even while having some key players missing off and on throughout the season, the Tigers can and will still show up. Adding to that, junior forward Anissa Morrow, a transfer from DePaul, is third in the SEC, averaging 18.4 points per game. Freshman Michaela Williams is fifth in the SEC, averaging 18.4 points per game. These ladies, they're looking good going into their matchup against the Missouri Tigers tonight. Kim Mulkey talks about this Missouri team during her press conference and what exactly they'll be working on to have a good game tonight. Missouri has won its last 2 games and is 9-4 this season. The Missouri Tigers are averaging 78.8 points per game and have had the second highest three-pointer percentage shooting in the SEC.
I don't think that they're different. Franks creates the first problem for you because she's a big that shoots the perimeter shot, trail 3. The point guard, she pushes it, penetrates, and creates a lot of shots for them. Obviously, they are different in personnel a little bit, but their style of play is pretty much the same. And it's not easy to defend out there. So we've got our hands full. Always have decent games against Missouri. We beat them there, I think, 20 last year, but Alexis Morris had a pretty good game there, and we don't have Alexis Morris this year. So first game, everybody's excited. So I would imagine Missouri's excited as well. They haven't played in a while. I noticed they didn't play a game before conference started, so they've had plenty of time to get in the film room and rest up.
For this episode, I'll be sitting down with the assistant editor of Tiger Rag, William Weathers, while we talk about predictions and go through the need-to-knows for this game tonight. This is Camryn Conner, your host, and I'll be back with William after this message from our sponsor.
The East Baton Rouge Library says this is the year to invest in you. The library brings value by connecting you to information, resources, materials, technology, and experiences. We make a positive difference in your life. All you need is your library card. Stop by one of our 14 locations, open 7 days a week, or find us online at ebrpl.com.
All right, here I am with the assistant editor of Tiger Rag, William Weathers. How you doing today, William?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Are you excited for the game tonight?
I am. Started conference play. They've had a stretch of games where they've dominated their opponents. So this figures to be a competitive game, throughout.
It'll be an interesting game. Like you said, they're opening up their conference play. It's going to be a Tiger versus Tiger, Tiger versus Tiger situation. May the best Tiger win. How would you compare one of Missouri's team leaders, forward Haley Franks, to some of our team leaders, Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow?
Compared to those two, she's a completely different player because she is somebody who can make a living posting up and playing inside, but she's got a terrific perimeter game, and she can pull people outside. If there's a key is to who gets a defensive assignment on her, because at 6'2", she can pull you out and away from the basket. So you've got to go out. Obviously you've got to go out there and defend her. So I'm interested to see who gets that assignment. I think, although Morrow's a little shorter than her, she may be the best person suited for that, because then you can't pull her and or Angel away. So you've got to have some semblance of a rebounding force. So Franks and their team, they're making 9 threes a game. So they're very, very formidable from the perimeter. And but this team's a little more built. Like when they first got here, they couldn't handle that type of they had a lot of problems stopping it or slowing it down. Now, although they've been susceptible to the three at times, I think they're a little bit better built. Even Michaela Williams could get out at 6 foot and defend Franks if need be.
I know that Haley's back. She's been back for one game. She started in the last game against the Jacksonville Dolphins. She played for a full 21 minutes. I know that it sucks that, I don't think there's another way to say it, that it sucks that she's only had one game recently under her belt before we're going into conference play, but how do you see this game playing out with Haley being back in her position? Because of some of the season's bumpy nature, when Angel Reese is out for 4 games and Samaya Smith is lost with a season-ending knee injury, and then you dismiss Kateri Poole, and then Haley misses 4 games with a foot injury. This is only going to be the 4th game the entire year that this particular starting lineup, Van Lith, Williams, Flauget, Angel Reese, and Morrow will play together. So you really don't have a huge, experience to see them. How can they look? We've seen them at times. So I'm glad that Haley was able to get back. She actually came out and sparked them. She had 3 threes in the first quarter, which is, she's accustomed to doing it at Louisville, but we hadn't seen a lot of it, and her percentage is not really good at LSU. And that was a good, she came out and initiated and helped get the team going. They've been slow starting out the gates, and she came out and hit those 3 threes. It was like, whoa. And then she did a normal, she averages about 5 assists a game and, runs the team and helps, well, Morrow's more the defensive presence, but she helps galvanize their defensive efforts, which, again, tonight will be a good example of how can they exist as a starting unit, because we have not seen them enough. Here we are, game 15, and they've played together 4 times. I like that you mentioned that, because it's weird to think that we haven't seen this full starting team that often this year. But they're on 13 winning. They've won the last 13 games in a row. So it's just interesting to know, I guess, to just always be re-shown that Kim Mulkey always knows best of what's going on that court. Yeah, she's got, you have to give a lot of credit to people. I mean, Anissa Morrow was the first one to kind of do it when Samaya was lost when they went in the Cayman Islands. I mean, Morrow just exploded. And she had 37 points against Virginia. She made the all-tournament team. She was a national player of the week. It was like, whoa, she's got 7 consecutive double-doubles in a row. And then Aaliyah Del Rosario became kind of the first player off the bench in Samaya's absence. And she's been, right at averaging 7-8 points a game. And she's had some games where she's had double-figure rebounds. So how many minutes can she put together and play? Because I think, again, Missouri is a little more up-tempo, and it's not necessarily suited to her style of more in the half court.
And then last year, Poa. Last year, ran the team in Haley's absence and was right around 4 or 5 assists a game. She's not a big scorer. She scores a little bit, but she makes the team function, and getting into the offense. And she can and she would get her share of steals. So there are some key pieces along the way. Starting with Anissa's kind of improving her level of play to look like, hey, this is what we heard from DePaul, and then a freshman like Del Rosario, last year Poa. Now it further strengthens your bench. Now you can maybe go to, it's typically been like an 8-person rotation. Now it could be 9 to 10.
I like how you brought up almost every, I don't know if I can really count any player on the women's basketball team and not run a list of everything that they can do. But usually I think I tend to cheer for Michaela Williams to be the star player each game. I just think I have a bias that as a freshman that she'll just go on the court and dominate it. So we both know LSU's full of amazing players. They all can sit there and go on the court and they can do amazing things. Angel Reese, Anissa Morrow, Flage, the list goes on and on, the full roster. So I know this is a really hard question. Who do you think is going to be the star player of the game against Missouri tonight?
I think Anissa's been trending in that direction where, as I mentioned, she's got these 7 double-doubles in a row. She's really been playing well, shooting at over 50% from the floor. She's not the three-point presence that may have thought she was going to be, but she at least makes you respect the fact that, hey, you got to come guard her. And then that maybe opens up for Angel, what they call a high-low example of getting the ball, if she pulls out defenders. So I would say her. This is going to be a good, as Coach mentioned yesterday. Well, now people have tape on Michaela, and now it's the conference, and they can know if you go left, you go right, and you can. It's an example how she can defeat preparation. Because Missouri, she's not a secret anymore. So it'll be interesting. And I think she could be someone to keep in that vein, that she could be a player like that because she can affect the game in so many different ways, whether it's the three, it's the transition, and then she's an excellent defensive player too.
Yeah. What do you think the score is going to be tonight? Who do you think is going to win? Which Tiger?
I thought they actually played 2 common opponents, which LSU beat both of. They beat Kent State and Virginia. Missouri lost to both of them in close games, and you're not supposed to do with the comparison scores, but I'm interested to see, based on those things and LSU getting a little healthier, now that Van Lith is back, if they defend, they can't Missouri can't come here and make 16 threes, which they're capable of doing. I think it's one of these. They've been averaging their scoring margin. They've been beating people by 30-something points. It won't be that. I think it'll be a comfortable, 15 to 12-point victory. Play well, stay out of foul trouble, and just play defense.
So which Tiger?
LSU.
LSU?
Yeah.
Okay, and one last question before you go. I'm curious to know, because I know you're going to go to the game tonight, are you going to be joining in with the crowd and dressing up as Kim Mulkey?
I will not. I will not. I will be going as my usually boring self and hopefully doing a good job and staying awake because it's an 8 o'clock tip, so it's a later night than usual. And to make sure, trying to make deadline, talking about writing at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. But no, I will be. And even Kim was not all high on that. She said, she would like to rather have seen it done on one of the players. But she says you just better have a lot of wrinkles, gray hair, and some sequins.
Sparkles, yeah, some sequins and sparkles. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much, William. I hope you have fun at the game tonight.
Thank you.
It's your time to make a greater impact. U.S. Army Reserve.
All right, that finishes up today's episode. Remember, tonight the ladies will be playing at 8 p.m. in the PMAC. Tomorrow, January 5th, the gymnastics team is set to open up their season at 7:30 in the PMAC against Ohio State. The men's basketball team will be opening up their conference play this Saturday, January 6th against Texas A&M. It's a busy weekend for Tiger fans. Tomorrow, we'll be sharing a podcast going over the men's basketball game and a preview for the gymnastics meet that'll be going on. This is Camryn Conner, your host, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.